This free one-click AI super agent is absolutely insane. It's kind of like the new Manus, except has even more powerful parts to it. So today, what we're going to be talking through is Genspark, which is kind of like an alternative to Manus. Manus was another kind of AI agent where you could build and deploy almost anything that you want. And I'm going to be showing you exactly how to use it. Now, you can use it one time for free per day, and you can see some of the stuff it can do. So it can actually, like, for example, create South Park style videos, stitch them all together. We have, for example, another example here where we've actually built out a full website. So let's open this up. I'll show you what this can do. All right, so you can see, for example, here it just went off inside Genspark, gave it a prompt, said research Julian Goldie and create an SEO agency website for him, and it went off and did its magic. Let's pull up another example right here. So we actually created this AI writing tool over here. I'll show you all the details are inside the AI profit board if you want to get the video notes for this, including the prompts. But essentially, we created this SEO content generator that can use Gemini, Claude, or ChatGPT. It's kind of like a lead generation tool as well. It has links to our funnels. So you can see this on the right-hand side over here. And pretty wild stuff. It even took some testimonials from the website, and it promotes us whilst allowing people to plug in their Gemini tool API key, right? So for example, if we go to aistudio.google.com, we'll grab an API key, we'll plug that into our tool, and this was fully generated and deployed with Genspark. Like you can see, we can plug in our example keyword, hit generate SEO content. We can also add additional instructions if you want, hit generate SEO content, and that actually generates an article using the Google Gemini API key, right? So it's like a free SEO content generator. And literally all I said to Genspark, if we actually have a look at the chat, let me show you an example of what the chat looks like. We said to Genspark, create an AI SEO content writer tool based on the prompt below. Here's how to do it. People should be able to plug in the API key. This tool should promote Julian Goldie and everything he sells, make it look cool, modern, sleek, etc. Here's my favorite prompt for generating content. And literally within, I would say, about 5 to 10 minutes, it had a prototype ready to go. Went back and forth with it a little bit. It redesigned it, and boom, we have that ready to go. Like you see right here, it's actually available for anyone to use, and it is completely free if you use a Gemini API key. So Genspark is absolutely insane what you can do with it and how powerful it is. And now you can build and deploy SaaS tools, you can create games, you can create full websites, and it really doesn't require much work at all. I'm just going to delete my API key, so we don't want to be showing that on a video. So let me delete that. But yeah, if you want a free API key, get it from AI Studio, and then you can plug it into whatever tool you create with Genspark, okay? Let's keep going through, and I'll show you another example. So we actually created a game, and I'll show you the output plus a prompt in a second. So this was a 3D game that we created. I just said create an SEO-themed 3JS game with 3D animations that's fun to play. Tools should promote Julian Goldie and everything he sells, make it look modern, cool, sleek, etc. And Julian's catchphrase is insane, right? So can we insert that into a game somehow in a funny way? Then they went off and created Julian Goldie's insane SEO adventure. And then it's got, for example, how to play. So you collect keywords to boost your rankings, gather backlinks, avoid algorithm updates, and find insane bonuses. All right, if we start the journey over here, we can see an example. So you want to avoid the red ones, and then we want to collect backlinks and keyword research. Like you can see, we get the insane boost with the yellow icons. And then if we go to the red ones, you'll see that's an update, right? So that's a Google update. You want to avoid those. And then you can just play this little 3D game like you can see. And then on the left-hand side over here, we've got keywords, backlinks, domain authority, SERP position, organic traffic. And you can see it goes up and down as a chart. And there we go. All right, that's Julian Goldie's insane SEO adventure ready to play right there. I'll leave all the links inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So if you go inside the S&P section here, and then you go down to April, you can see all my latest S&Ps, and you can see the Genspark example plus prompts that you can just customize and build yourself if you want to create stuff like this, all right? So really powerful, super interesting what you can do with it. You can even, for example, like generate audio. So you can see it's generating audio inside Genspark here as well. This was with the South Park example prompt, and it seems super fast. Now, again, it's free if you use it just like once per day. If you just want to absolutely rinse it for credits, obviously you have to pay for that. But I think it's still cheaper than Manus. It's something like £25 a day. So pretty awesome right there and super easy to use, okay? let's keep going through now. If you want to see an example of what Manus creates, so let me pull up an example right here if we can find it. So this is an example from Manus of an AI SEO content writer. Go onto that page right here and we'll compare them side by side, okay? So this is the one from Manus, and if you actually see the outputs from Genspark, I would say the outputs are much better from Genspark when I compare, like, okay, what's the quality of what it's creating, okay? So, for example, if we have a look, this is the Manus, and you see that's hosted at manus.space. If we compare that to the tool we created with Genspark, it just looks, I would say, better side by side. So let's pull these up side by side and we'll show you exactly what the difference is here. All right. So you see how this is customized to me. It's got my face on there, etc. Still has the buttons at the top, which are very similar, but this just feels a lot more unique to me. It's got images of me, my face, etc. It's got nice little reviews inside there, links to my SEO Elite Circle, my featured products. Whereas this one, just from Manus, just feels a little bit more basic. I would say Genspark overall, it feels like a new generation of super agents, right? It's almost like Manus was a step behind, and Manus is still cool, still a powerful tool, but I think Genspark wins as well. Also, you can see inside the AI content writer right here, you can't, let's have a look. So if you click on API settings, you get GPT-4, Google Studio, and Claude, whereas this one is actually using the latest Gemini 2.5. All right, and then seems like you can plug in your API key from whichever one you want. If we click on get a Gemini API key, does that actually take you to the right place? Interesting. Yeah, so you get the point. I just think it's a totally different generation of tools. And also this was super fast to do, right? So literally we just gave it one prompt, then we gave it another prompt, just tweaking it, and it was ready to go off to the races. So really powerful. The other thing here you can do is you can also generate videos, which you can't do inside Manus. So you can see here, we've got an option of like mixture of agents, Kling, Pixaverse, Luma Labs, Gemini Veo, or Hunyuan. And then you've got a choice between like image to video, which portrait dimensions you want. So you can have landscape or portrait, and then whether you want it like 3 to 5 or 5 to 10 seconds. 5 to 10 seconds is only available on the premium plan. But again, you can ask Genspark to stitch multiple video clips together as well. So that's another option right there. So pretty cool. And then the other thing that you can do here, and I've not tested this out, but you can actually, for example, ask it to call for you. So this is really crazy. Like you can actually say, for example, call the store. So this is Buster Pro Tennis in California. And someone has said, call the store to ask if they have the new Yonex 2025 E-Zone. That's the 8th generation E-Zone in Blast Blue. I'm looking for the 98 square inch head size, 305 grams, etc. If they don't know, 100 will be fine, etc. And then she called up the assistant, made the call, and you can see the summary of the transcription plus the full transcription right there, along with the date and the time of the phone call. Absolutely wild. And you can play it back as well if you want to see the audio and example, stuff like that. And I've not seen like any other agent. I know Google like promised to do this years ago, but I've never seen like an AI agent that could actually do this. Whereas, for example, Genspark seems to be able to do outbound phone calls for you, videos, deep research, etc. Pretty simple and easy, right? So really cool. And then you can see here the benchmarks. So if we pull up the benchmarks, if we compare Genspark versus Manus versus OpenAI, Genspark is leading the way on all the benchmarks. I always take them with a little pinch of salt, but you get the point. Like, it is a really crazy thing that you can do inside here as well. Yeah, absolutely awesome. Let's have a look what else we got here. So you can actually click and see the example prompts that people have run. So if we click on Start Replay, we can replay other conversations that people have done. And you can also click on Continue Conversation and then pick up where the user left off. So if I type in here, I can type in anything to carry on from there. But yeah, it's just a whole new generation of super agents that I've never seen before. Wild stuff. And then also inside here, what you can see is like, you've got an option. So if you do, for example, all right, I want to have dinner at a seafood restaurant with outdoor tables where I can see the skyline, blah, 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 preferably by the Coronado Ferry Center. When it comes up with the actual restaurants, it gives you the views and everything like that. Pretty basic, but you can actually get the AI to call for you, right? And that is not available inside Manus. So if you go inside Manus and we compare the output side by side, you're not going to be able to get Manus to be able to book phone calls for you or book restaurants for you. And then also you can't do video generation inside Manus as well. And then also like the outputs from Genspark just seem to be a bit more advanced. So yeah, any sort of AI tool that you have in mind, you can just build directly inside the super agent. So for example, we say, okay, create, and actually what I'll do is I'll take an example prompt from the AI profit boardroom. So let me grab some stuff right here, see what we got. Yeah, so let's design an AI growth calculator. So we'll plug that in. And then what I'm also going to do is grab a prompt from the Genspark section and just add that in. So this section right here, we'll plug that in. And then design an interactive AI growth calculator for Goldie agencies websites. Users input their hourly rate, hours worked per month, and current inefficiencies. Calculator estimates potential time, show potential revenue increases, include the CTA, blah, blah, blah. And then it can go off and do that. Now, cool thing about this is like you can create awesome lead generation tools for your business, right? So for example, let's say you're selling AI automation, right? What we can do is we could put AI automation tool, something like that, into Ahrefs, and we can find what people are looking for actively on Google. Then we can actually search down to low keyword difficulty tools that we could potentially create and deploy and build around here, right? We could also try AI automation calculator, for example, something like that as well, and just find easy stuff to rank for. So let's have a look. AI calculator. Let's plug that in. And you can see a bunch of examples of calculators that we can build and deploy using Genspark. All right. So for example, physics AI calculator or AI body fat calculator, etc. They would be very easy to build and deploy with Genspark. And then depending on what your niche is, you can rank for them. So for example, if you look at this AI finance calculator, how easy would it be for you to build that? Very easy. You just go into Genspark and say, build me an AI finance calculator. Then you can deploy it, grab the code. So you can see you get the code down here. You can download that code and host it on some of the tools I'm going to show you later. So we'll come on to that later in another section of the video. But yeah, essentially you can grab the code, deploy it, build whatever you want, build tools, find potential lead generation tools that you could build. And then, for example, we've done that with this output right here, where we've built like a kind of tool we could use for lead generation that people basically get a free tool and then it sends traffic to our funnels. For example, the free strategy session, SEO Elite Circle, etc. So pretty powerful stuff. And these tools are really cool. So for example, this one right here, this is something we actually built with Manus, and you could easily build that out with Genspark as well. And then if we go into Google right here, let me pull up a new window. You can see that actually for the keyword that we built the website around, so AI profit boardroom, you can see our website is ranking number 1 for that keyword, right? And this was all automated and built with Manus. So you could easily do the same thing inside Genspark and then go off and build whatever you want, right? And actually we have a bunch more examples inside the AI profit boardroom. If you go to the Manus AI build anything section, you can see all this stuff we've built, and you could also build that with Genspark as well. So for example, like a fantasy game example or SEO tool, content writer, directory website, presentations, websites, etc. So let's see what we get back now from Genspark. So it's done its magic. Let's open that up. So if you click on this section right here, open a new window, you can open it up. You can also export this. I think it's going to export as a PDF. So it's not going to export the code. It will export the PDF. So if you create a presentation, then you can export that directly. And then also you can just grab the code right here. So you can copy that code and then use it however you want, right? And now you can see the AI growth calculator. Looks pretty nice. Got information about us. It's got links to our social media channels and also to book in a strategy session. And it's super nicely designed, so you can see, right? Now, if we switch and toggle this around, click on calculate your growth potential, it's figured all of this out for us, right? So it's created a tool where people can basically calculate the monthly cost savings, the time saved, potential SEO traffic increase, revenue increase, etc. And then people can just book in an AI session ready to go right there. If you want to get the prompt and the tips for that, I'll put it inside the AI Profit Boardroom, inside the Genspark section. But how long did that take? How fast was that? Usually Manus takes quite a long time as well, whereas this built it in like literally 5 minutes and built it perfectly. All right. So that's the AI automation dashboard tool. You can check out the tool there. I'll grab the prompt as well, so that if you want to customize this to your own business, you can. And then let me grab that chat link right there. There we go. So if you want to see all of my best prompts, tips, I've also got a 15-minute tutorial on Genspark. It's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom link in the comments description, so make sure you check it out. This community is all about making more money and saving time with AI, so feel free to get it. And prices are going up this month, so make sure you sign up now before you miss out on the legacy price. And also, inside here, there's 692 members, right? So you can ask 692 people any questions that you have about AI. You see, it's a very active community, lots of people asking questions and getting answers. And if you want help, this is probably the best place to go, right? Also comes with all my best courses on my email content automation, social media, AI agents, web automation, AI SEO automation, NA10 templates, a crash course plus SOPs, as you can see. And additionally, this is updated pretty much every single day, right? So if you go to the SOP section over here, even for April, it's only the 5th, but we've added like 5 new sections right here with all the latest updates on the tools, right? So it's one of the most active communities in the AI world, and you can sign up, link in the comments description. Additionally, if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session, feel free to get that. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visits this month. If you want more free customers and more leads and more money from your website, then feel free to book this in. This is basically going to show you how to get more traffic from Google so that you can scale your business on autopilot based on what's working for us and our happy clients